All right, we just talked about the mini top icon, and as you remember, I was talking about looking at the new, in 2008, the Atom with the NVIDIA Ion chipset. You want to talk about small, let's take a look at this net appliance, the JBC 360. We're talking about all the power of a computer basically fitting in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
You can see we have 4 USB ports, DVI out, Ethernet, your audio, obviously a jack for your AC in, and all of this in a really small amount of space. Tell me a bit more about this, Patrick.
Sure. So this is using the low power Atom N270 processor. So it is still a dual core processor, but it's it's the netbook type processor. So it's low heat, low power, meant for a embedded solution. So this is our previous generation here, and as you can see, it's much smaller form factor, yet packs the same hardware, same expandability. You can put a 2.5-inch hard drive in here. It has a compact flash slot if you'd prefer to boot from compact flash. It supports, one of our applications is a thin client. So people who are doing remote computing don't necessarily need a remote hard drive. They use a PXE boot to boot from the network, and all your functionality is right here. You don't need anything. This is a DVI-I, by the way, so it can be adapted to VGA in case you don't have a digital.
We have some new developments from Jetway on the Mini ITX front as well. As you can see here, there's a couple of new boards that are actually really unique products in the Mini ITX front, and a lot of your at-home enthusiasts for your media PC, and especially your ultra portable LAN gamer, are going to absolutely love this board. We hope to find this in some Barebone systems and possibly for sale as a standalone product at Newegg if they decide to purchase enough of the boards. This is an H55 chipset in a Mini ITX board. So you've got a desktop chip on a Mini ITX platform, a full PCI Express by 16 slot, support for 4 hard drives, two slots of RAM, so you got dual channel RAM there. You've got enough ports on the back to choke a horse, including I want to say that's DisplayPort?
HDMI.
HDMI again. So you've got your ultimate LAN gaming chassis here in a very portable, very small form factor. You can stick it into something like a Silverstone Sugo case or a small little Ultimate Lamboy case or something from Antec. This is your perfect LAN setup right here. And Patrick's going to tell us a little bit more about the other boards in their series.
Sure. Yeah. So again, just to touch on that. We're hoping that we're going to see it for sale online in the U.S. We do have a minimum order quantity, so we hope some of our partners are going to take us up on that offer, and it'll be available for sale. We do see it as an excellent opportunity. We've never created a Intel desktop processor Mini ITX motherboard, so this is the first one we've ever created. We've had other mobile generation or Atom-based, but never a true desktop Core i3, Core i5 processor board. So we're hoping it takes off, and eventually we can have a full line of desktop Mini ITX boards. So, and on the same note, we have this board over here, which is the NF97. It's this similar series. This features the HM55 chipset. So it is the mobile chipset brethren of the H55 chipset. And the reason why we have this is the HM55 chipset is an embedded chipset. So this board is for our long life embedded partners who want to create a system, have it available for 5 years, and not have to change the hardware. So that's really for our system integrator who wants a low power platform, but still wants the flexibility to put in a mobile processor.
And this really appeals a lot more to the enthusiasts among us. I mean, you can see that just in the RAM sockets, and of course the much more full chipset and CPU support here. Yep. This, and again, something we should mention to the readers is the expectation of taking this and sticking it into a case like this is not really realistic. I mean, obviously you're going to overheat that platform in a very quick fashion. This is meant for your small form factor, ultra portable, like I said, a Silverstone Sugo kind of case, something with a handle or a small little form factor case. You take it on the go, and you've got everything you need to attend your next LAN gaming event right there in a small, very portable, light form
All right,
factor.
so I just want to focus on 2 more of our Mini ITX motherboards. These 2 Mini ITX boards here are our NC98. We have NC98 510 and 525. So you saw our mini top next generation Ion 2 Barebone a little bit earlier. So these are board versions of that product. None of our, as far as we're aware, no one is selling a Ion 2 board only currently. You've seen Barebones, but you've never been available to purchase the board by itself. So
that's going to appeal to a lot of our readers who really would like to take this. They don't want necessarily the case and chassis and all the components that come with a Barebone system. A lot of our guys are do-it-yourself types. They want to take the board and throw it into their own system where they get to choose everything else.
You're absolutely correct. So we've done this in our previous generation, so in this generation we thought we would do the same thing. It's not quite the same board, so there's a different type of application we see. So someone that wants to create their own Ion 2 product, again, is probably going to be using a slightly bigger chassis, either a home theater with a very nice, thermal take, or a very nice chassis, possibly a Blu-ray, or full-size hard drive and full-size optical drive. So what this board is going to deliver, it's still the Ion 2 NVIDIA next generation Ion graphics. We have the current generation D510 Atom dual core processor with DDR2 memory. Okay, so it's going to be a couple dollars cheaper than the 525. So we still have some customers who like that processor, have qualified it and then tested it, and they're happy with it. And again, as you can see, it's fanless. We also have the 525 version, which you saw up front there, the next generation, brand new Intel Atom processor. But again, that processor has inside the core, the memory controller supports DDR2 or DDR3. So that is the difference between this 525 and the 510 series. So in our Barebone, we chose to use DDR3. In the board layout, we've chosen to use DDR2, so that a customer can use standard, regular size DIMM that they're familiar with in their desktop system.
And not only that, it's also quite a bit cheaper than DDR3 at this point.
Absolutely. So we kind of we looked at the scenario and we thought this was the best possible scenario. One thing I do want to point out is both of these boards do have onboard DC power. So you will not need to have a power supply in your computer. They'll have, use a 12-volt AC adapter.
Okay, and where would they pick up that 12-volt AC adapter from?
Our plans is to bundle it with this product. We're still talking about it, but we believe we're going to ship it with either a 60-watt or an 80-watt adapter. We're not quite sure yet, but that is our plan.
So in either case, 60 or an 80-watt adapter, we're still talking about a very low-power system here, not a lot of heat produced. Absolutely. Something that they could stick in a standard Mini-ITX case and run with it.
Correct. So even, as you can see, there is 4 hard drive connectors on there, and that Molex connector, we have a cable that connects to the SATA drives. Even with the system fully loaded, we think that our estimations are it's about 100 watts. So if you're going to use 4 hard drives or fully load it, you're probably going to need a 120 watt AC adapter. But most of our customers using this board, we think it's probably going to be 1 hard drive, 2 hard drives, maybe an optical. In that case, an 80 watt would be just sufficient. So that's our plans at this time.
Yeah, given the fact that the motherboard really doesn't have a PCI Express video card on it, this is not a gaming system here. I don't see too many people throwing 4 hard drives in it unless you've got, this is going to be a media powerhouse, in which case you're storing a whole lot of files. Very cool.